our lives, we sit and wonder why God has us where He does. A living sacrifice to be an example to the world, so that everyone can see His goodness and His mercy, how His grace covers me. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Many are the plans of man, but only God's plan will prevail. Don't be weary in well-doing. All you have to do is keep going. Have faith and believe, and know one day you'll receive all the blessings that's for you. He is going to see you through. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Gotta go where God leads. Where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. They can see. You gotta go where you are. Where you are. And know that God will keep. He will keep. You gotta go where God leads. Where He leads. You gotta shine so people can see. They can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go that's in me. Greater is he that's in me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are here. Yes, let's give it up. Woo! Yes, turning dreams into reality, and I'm a witness today, and I'm so glad you are here with us. We are fully excited, and we have a great show for you. Let's give it up one more time. Woo! Yes, turning dreams into reality. I am Tasheka L. Green, and I'm so glad to be here with you. Before we get started, I do have a few PSA announcements for you. Vox Wave now features a streaming radio media player on our website's front page where local artists can get their music played 24/7. For more information on getting your music in rotation or to perform live at the studio, contact Reggie Gaskins on 240-832-4455. Android users, the Vox Wave app is now available in the Google Play Store. Download the app today on your Android devices to listen in and view programs. Business owners, are you looking for a place to advertise your business and to promote your products or services? Vox Wave is the right place. We have our 10,000 views a day and 70,000 listeners a month. For information, contact again Reg Gaskins at 240-832-4455. In support of the community, Vox Wave will be collecting toiletries such as toothpaste, soap, lotion, and antibacterial wipes, socks, shampoo, combs, and other items. Please drop off your donations at the station, which is located at 4711 Off Place, Suitland, Maryland. Thank you for tuning in to those announcements. Again, I am Tasheka L. Green, and I'm so glad that you joined us on today. I am the founder and chief executive officer of To Everything There Is a Season. It's your season. Go and live. I just want to give you a little bit about me and the show before we get going and get our guest on today. I have been an educator, a coach, a transformational leader, and personal and professional developer for over 17 years. For the past 17 years, I have really seen throughout those 17 years how people struggle for their dreams to come to a reality or to identify their purpose. Do you know that Amazon has over 152,000 self-help books online? However, research has done many studies and say only 5 to 10% of the people know their purpose and actually walk in them each and every day. And I just want you to know that I am here to push you to your dream, to help it become reality, and to help you to get where you need. And one thing I've also discovered is a lot of people don't get to the point of fruition because they don't have the systems, the structures, and the resources that they need to help them to get there. I want to bring you to an incident that happened to me in 2010 because my purpose was truly birthed out of the pain of losing my mom. In March of 2010, actually March 30th, 2010, my mother passed away with stage 4 stomach cancer. She was diagnosed in February, and 30 days later, she passed away. She was 53 years old. She had so much more life to live, so many things she wanted to do. She was an advocate for women, an advocate for the community. Anybody who knew her, she was a resource to them. She helped them. She wrote grants. She got people opportunities they never thought they would have. And all of that was taken away. But before my mother passed away, she actually called me into her hospital room. And when she called me into the room, we started to engage in this conversation. And it went a little like this. She goes, "Why me?" And I go, "Why not you?" And I told her how special and how wonderful she was in the eyes of God and how he's created her in his image and how he thought so highly of her that he would want to call her home. And then she asked me, "Did I do a good job?" And I said, "Did you do a good job? What do you mean, did you do a good job?" And she said, "Did I do a good job in raising you?" And I said, "You did a great job in raising me, Ma." And then she said, "Well, you know, I have to go, but I can't take this mantle with me." So before my mother left, she passed the mantle of servitude on to me, and the mantle of outreach, and the mantle of helping others, and that anointing to be a resource into the community and to the people that I reach each and every day. And when I picked up that mantle, I've been moving forward in an onward direction in an expeditious manner to help everyone I can reach to get to their purpose and to help them to have their dreams to become a reality. Because I don't want life to pass you by and you sit back and say, I would have if I could have, or I should have, or I would have done this. No, today you're going to say, I am and I will. So we're going to change those I can't to I can's. We're going to change those excuses to executions. We're going to change those impossibles to possibilities. And we're going to make things happen today. And I have some great people that are going to help you make it happen today. I'm so glad that I'm going to be able to have the Lisa M. Jones, not just Lisa M. Jones, but the Lisa M. Jones from Jones, Jules and Associates with us on today. She's also the leader and the founder of Extreme Makeover Conference. So she's going to be joining us. I also have the wonderful Andrea Jackson with us today, and she's going to tell you about affirmation and how you need to walk every day and just say, I am, and I am, and I am. And then I have the great, great, great woman in red today, Shantee McPhee, that will be joining us, that's going to help us to know those resources and to set those goals that we need to get to that reality. So we're going to go to a short little break, and then right after the break, we're going to bring on some of our special guests. Remember, please join in and tune in, everybody. We're on Facebook Live. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Turn into www.voxwave, turning dreams into reality.
Many times in our lives, we sit and wonder why God has us where He does. A living sacrifice to be an example to the world, so that everyone can see His goodness and His mercy, how His grace covers me. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta grow where God leads. Shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Many are the plans of man, but only God's plan will prevail. Don't be weary in well doing. All you have to do is keep going. Have faith and believe, and know one day you'll receive all the blessings that's for you. He is going to see you through. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer.
And we are back, and I'm so glad that you stood right there and didn't go anywhere. And we are going to get started. And I just want to remind you that if you would like to call in today to speak to me or to speak to any of our guests, you can dial in at 240-719-2560. Again, 240-719-2560. Our lines are open, and we are ready to accept our callers, so please join in. So before I introduce my guests today, my two guests that I have with me, we have three guests, I do just want to also let you know that turning dreams into reality actually is birthed out of a vision that God gave me on January 13th. Again, going along in the vein of helping people to get to their reality of their dreams. Last year, I really was on an urgency around helping people with their purpose. And this year, God said, now you have helped people to understand their purpose. Now it's time to turn those dreams into reality. And so that really came from the principles of Genesis 37 through 45. And I'm in the process of concluding and writing my 6th book. And I'm excited about that. The book is called And Joseph Had a Dream. Wow. And it's the 7 principles to turn your dream into reality. So we're going to talk about a few of those principles on today. And then my guest is going to entertain some of that. But before we get started, let me introduce you to our first guest. And her name is Andrea Jackson.
Yes.
Yes, Andrea Jackson. And Shantee McPhee is my next guest. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And you notice Shantee and I are sporting our glasses today, and I want to give a shout out to Selena Tankard from Etc. Boutique. Her name is Selena Tankard. You can find her on social media at Selena Tankard. These are compliments of her, and I know since I last saw her 2 weeks ago, I sent her like 5 or 6 customers. So just so you can know, she has red for the Deltas, and she has green and pink for the AKs, and whatever you need, she has all of that for you. So thank you, Selena. So let's get started. So Andrea, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Andrea Jackson, and first of all, I want to thank you, Tasheka, for having us on the show.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
that. So I work in the area of finance by trade. I'm a financial coach. I kind of got into the whole area of speaking, which we work together as partners at Extreme Makeover from that area of my life. And so I'm just, I tell people I'm an educator at heart. And it doesn't matter if I'm educating people about finances or if I'm educating people about life. I'm just an educator at heart. I love to learn, and I want to get across things that I know to other people to make them better. So I've been in the business of finances for over 15 years. Absolutely love what I do. And I have an opportunity to affect and infect people every day with change. And I just find it awesome because I spent years in the corporate world, but I was in IT. I was a counselor. My resume used to actually say, Jackson of all trades, because I had so many different jobs, but I never really fit anywhere because I didn't even know that that's not what God had for me. But I love the fact that every day I get to change somebody's life in some way or some fashion.
Exactly.
So,
And thank you. That's why you're here today, so because you can impact more. And I'm glad that you're here. And we're gonna talk about, you said, Extreme Makeover Conference that's coming October 20th.
Yes.
We're so excited about that. We just had a prelude
we
for
did.
everyone on February the 20th.
Yes.
And at the conference, we had a women's workshop, and it was called I Am Wise, I Am Worthy, I Am Woman.
Yes.
And then we had our men's, and theirs were called Huddled Up. And so we were so glad to have almost over 200 some people total.
Yes.
So if that was just the prelude, we know that the Extreme Makeover Conference is going to sell out, and we're just excited about that. And we're going to get into that a little later.
Yes.
So thank you. Shantee, tell us about yourself.
Yes. So first, I'm just excited to be here. I am so excited to be on this platform, but to also see that you talk about bringing dreams into reality, because I believe a lot of times, just as you stated, that a lot of times you're just imagining things. It doesn't really come to fruition because you're imagining what's happening, but it really is not something that's going to come to fruition. So actually turning dreams into reality, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better platform, so thank you for that. So my background is in the medical profession. I've been a registered nurse for over 20 years, something I've always enjoyed doing ever since the age of 9. I have a heart for people and a passion for people, and to not just teach about the medical aspect, but also the spiritual aspect, the mental aspect. And that's something that's very dear to me as well. I also love talking about marriages, something that my husband and I love to talk about, which is marriage. We've been married for almost 20 years this year. So that's really dear to our heart as well. And then, of course, I'm in the physical arena as well. I teach Zumba, and I teach other classes as well. And I love to try to help people to understand more than anything, you can work from your inside out. So even though you may not be where you want to be at that moment, you just one decision away from making a better change for your life. And so I just enjoy doing that as well. Just teaching people how they can get better from the inside out.
Thank you, Shantee. And I'm excited because these are my partners. And we're Extreme Makeover leaders and keynote speakers. And so we just connected last year. Last year we connected through Lisa Jones, who's going to be joining us soon. And ever since then, we just been joined at the hip. And we cry together, we laugh together, we play hard together, we fight together. So
Absolutely.
So we're just excited. So, as we get started, can you share with our listeners how your dreams became a reality? What was your dream and how did that become a reality for you?
Well, it was funny. I was reading the script to prepare for today, and I found that question very engaging because I'm still in the process. And so ultimately, one of the things that I shared with you is that I want to open up a school.
Yes.
And so the name of the school is Freedom Christian Academy.
Exactly.
But I get excited about all the, sometimes when I sit back and I watch God's path for your life, that's not something that I would have ever thought was going to happen in regards to opening up the school. But when I look at his path for my life and how he had to put me in an arena that said, I will allow you to earn unlimited dollars. Because, of course, when I would tell people that, they would say, well, just get a charter school, or the state will give you money, or the government will give you money. But the challenge is, my school is a Christian school, and I don't want someone telling me how many times I can say Jesus.
Exactly.
See, I can fully fund my school without any help from the government, without any help from the state. And so God placed me in an arena that I can make unlimited dollars to fund that school.
Exactly.
So I get excited about how he opens up that vision, though, on a daily basis, how he introduces me to phenomenal people like yourself who are already in the system. It's like he's already put together my school. He's put together the people, and I love it because they're just waiting for me to open the doors.
Exactly.
And so I get excited because I don't have to worry about, the structural part. I have people that know how to do that.
Exactly.
I know people who want to teach, that want to educate, that want to administer. And so I just get excited again watching God open up these doors.
Yes.
And then that school opening up by the time I'm 50, which, I won't tell people how long that is, but
yes,
it's not tomorrow.
Listen, you make 25 look good. Okay. And you know what? The Bible says that he that begun a good work will finish it. And so the work has already started, and we're excited about it. I can't wait because I have 2 children, and I would love to put them in your Christian school. That's exciting.
Yes.
Shantee, tell us about your dream and how it became a reality for you.
Well, what's interesting is before I got married, I had a lot of people around me that went through divorce, and I really learned a lot from them. And they took me under their wings, and they said and shared a lot of things that they said, don't do what I did on this part. So I always had a love and passion for marriages because I always believed that, especially in the way the world is today, it's totally different than what the Bible says. And so I know that the Bible is very clear about biblical blueprints for marriage. And I remember even in our marriage, a lot of times people think that marriage is just like so perfect and that you never go through anything. They see people on the outside and they're like, wow, they have the perfect marriage. I want to be that way. But they really don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And even going through a season in my marriage, I recognize that's a ministry that God wanted me to be able to share with others, to encourage other women, because a lot of times we don't have that support, or more so than anything, we don't want to share because we think that we're the only one that's going through a certain thing in our marriage. And I believe that God allowed me to go through certain things in my marriage so I could be a testimony to say, listen, you're going to go through seasons, but doesn't mean that you give up. And so even in the platform with Extreme Makeover, Lisa asking my husband and I to pretty much take over the marriage part, I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. But so many times my husband and I have attended ministries and Family Life Ministries, being a part of that platform as far as attending for years, even before we got married. And went through it even for engagement. We knew that we wanted to follow the biblical blueprints of marriage. And then even other people asking us, hey, come talk about marriage and things like that. So that's when I realized that, God is helping me and pretty much ordaining us for that, for marriage. And so that's one of the things that I just like to share about marriage. And
exactly. And what I've discovered that, our dreams, they're not for us.
Absolutely.
They're for other people. They're to just do what you said, impact, to change, to save lives. They're not even for us. And so, the process that we go through is not for us. It's to bring somebody else closer to God. And so we're just excited about that. And as I stated, the book, And Joseph Had a Dream, the 7 principles of turning your dream to reality, how it was birthed out of God just ministering through to me in Genesis when Joseph had the 2 dreams. And, and when Joseph had the 2 dreams, he shared them with his brothers. And then when you recall that his brothers actually, they wanted to kill him first. And then one said, no, we're going to put him in a cistern. And then eventually he was actually sold. And so I bought that key point in to say, when you have your dreams or when you had your dreams, did you share your dreams with anyone, or did you keep them to yourself? Because one of the principles that I talk about in the book is how when you have dreams and you begin to share them too early, how people will either mock you, criticize you, or even plot to kill you, to destroy you. And so can you talk a little bit about that, like with your dreams, like who have you shared, sharing them, and when did you share them, and things of that nature, and the struggles that you were up against?
Right. Well, I share mine all the time. And I do that because one of the things that I just say to myself all the time is you speak what you seek until you see what you say.
Yes.
And so if I never talk about it, then I'm not even hearing it and reinforcing it for myself. And I understand the concept of some people are dream snatchers.
Yes.
But that's when you have to work on your mindset. See, no one can snatch my dreams from me.
Right.
And so they can't take that away, but I was sure to work on my mindset first so that I would not be susceptible to somebody that could come in and snatch it. Earlier today, we were at the office and we were talking about a qualified opinion.
Yes.
And one of the things is people receive stuff from so many people. I receive nothing from anyone unless it's a qualified opinion. So I build a business.
Opinion.
Absolutely. I'm building a business. If you work a job, you don't have a qualified opinion. So you can't tell me about my business.
Right, right.
And so I'm building a school. If you have a desire never to educate and don't care about, you don't have a qualified opinion.
Right, right.
I love my mom with everything in me, but my mom has never done the things that I've done. So although I respect her, in some areas of my life, she doesn't have a qualified opinion. And so I take that very seriously. So I do share it with everybody because I also need you to know, because I don't know if you know somebody. I'm a firm believer that I'm 4 people away from everybody I need to know.
Okay.
So if I share my dream with you, you may know somebody that could bring that thing closer. Because it said it would tarry, but it would surely come.
Yeah.
So I share mine all the time. With everyone. I just shared it with you guys. Amen.
Shantee, what about you?
You know what? I can remember early on, when God was calling me into the ministry for marriage, and I began to kind of sink back, thinking that I wasn't qualified. Thinking that, I'm too young for this. I can't really share something. I haven't really been through anything. My marriage has been great. But as I start going through and living, God spoke to me, and I remember even a pastor saying this, it's a purpose for your pain.
Yeah.
And so now I'm always literally sharing with people and encouraging other people who are in marriage, who may be going through. So I don't keep that to myself. It's very dear to me. And so that's something that I always believe in doing, sharing with other people, because you never know what someone else may be going through. And I realized too, in the process of sharing, so many people have pulled me to the side and may say, you don't know what you just did for me. You don't understand what I'm going through. Were you in my room? Did you hear everything? But it's because I shared it. So I think it's very important for me to be able to share that ministry, because again, I don't want to keep anything secret for what God has for me.
Good.
I really don't.
Exactly. When we think about turning our dreams into reality, a lot of people don't want to fail. They're scared of failure. And so, what I always say is that on the other side of failure, there is success, because failure is not an option for anybody. Can you share with our listeners something that you failed at that actually turned out to be successful for you?
Well, I've failed in relationships.
Okay.
And I will say that it turned out to be successful because I got an opportunity to learn better about who I was.
Good.
And accept the responsibilities in that space. Like, how did I contribute to the relationship failing? And so I failed in corporate, amen. And so that turned out for the better, because when I tell my story about people even getting here, you could not tell me that I was not going to retire in the government like the rest of the people in my family, because, that's all we knew. So stepping out on that faith, it was very scary. I went back a couple of times to corporate, but then the final time I said, I'll never go back again. And so I feel like I failed in that area, only for God to open up another area for me that that's not what I planned for my life. And I didn't plan to be a business owner. I was going to be the government GS, whatever, 15-5, and just retire and do that whole thing.
Exactly.
And so, but again, you hit it. There is no success unless you fail. And it's really nothing to be scared of. It's just part of life. And so, so I think that's probably what most I failed at.
And I would say I failed at businesses before, but when I look back in hindsight, I wouldn't trade it for the world because failing at a particular business helped me to be where I am currently in my business right now. It has helped me tremendously. I remember crying and saying, I could never do this. I can't do this. Oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. And what I realized, even learning, especially the self-development and feeling confident and reading and really working on my mind, because that's very important to me, that changed a lot for me. So when I got into another business, I excelled like right away. I excelled right away, but I look back, that was like a training ground for me. It helped me. So a lot of times we don't want to go through pain, but when we look back in hindsight, and we all can probably acknowledge that and even see that because of that, you are a better person because of that, and you wouldn't trade that experience. And so for me, even though I failed in that business, it helped me to be the businesswoman that I am right now. I can see things better. I can relate to people better. I develop relationships better. I'm more confident. When I enter into a room, I know that I'm the one.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Exactly.
I know that. I know that I command the room. I know that, and I'm not afraid of speaking wherever I am. You know, a lot of people are like, oh my God, I could never speak. Oh, I used to say that too. But now, because it's something that I'm passionate about and something that I believe in, and because to me, I've had that training ground to speak in front of hundreds and thousands of people, it's nothing for me now. I actually grow from it. And so that's one of the things that I know that has helped me tremendously, failing before. And so now failing is not really something I'm fearful of anymore.
Good.
And I look forward to it. It's like, okay, if that didn't work, let's just try this
Absolutely.
again.
Yes,
Let's go to the next thing.
Absolutely.
It doesn't define who I am.
Exactly. I know while I was, reflecting over, some of the questions that I was going to ask on today, and I thought about my own self and some of the things that I failed at. And I'm like, okay, I went to college in 1994, and in my third year, I was pregnant. And so I was a single mom going to college from 1994 until I married my wonderful husband, who's the executive producer. Let's give him a shout out, William Gray. He's in the house. He's executive producer the show today. And I met him, and we married in 2008. So I was a single mom for almost 10 years, going to college. And so usually you're finished college in 4 years, right? Not me. It took me until 2001. And then, I'm an educator. So I had to take the test to become a teacher. Well, I failed that too, and then I thought about it when I was in graduate school. God always brings back things to your remembrance because there's a story behind why we do what we do.
Yes.
And so even when I was in graduate school, I went to graduate school, I started it, but I didn't have the finances and resources to finish. But I kept going every day, and school was unpaid for. No one never kicked me out. How does that happen? And so, I think about, again, favor. Favors for a lifetime. Yes. And even when I was reading again the Genesis of Joseph, everything that he did, God gave him favor and success. Yes. Even though the obstacle and the challenges and the tests were in front of him, God still gave him favor in Potiphar's house. God still gave him favor with Pharaoh. Yes. God still gave him favor in the jail. Yes. He gave him favor in everything because he knew that he had to get him to where his dream became a reality. Amen. And so even when I was going to graduate school and I finished, and it was like, oops, you can't graduate. You owe us $12,000. And I'm like, and graduation was in a week.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. But I kept going. I believe that, there's purpose for me around education and there's a greater work. And do you not know that someone at the college, a professor, she said to me these words. She said, I see so much in you and what you're going to become and the difference you're going to make in education. I'm going to give you a $12,000 check. Amen. Wow. Because and I just confided in her like a mentor, right? The whole time I was there, and she did just that. She was a woman of her word, and she gave me a $12 check, and I walked. And to this day, I said that was something that I failed, but God turned it into a success. And so, it's so much to our stories. There's so much behind why we do what we do, because God counted enough to have somebody bless us that we just need to, in return, start blessing people and start giving what we can, even if it's your time. One thing I never say, I do not like to say, is I'm busy. When people say, I'm busy. No, I am being productive. And if you call me and I don't call back, don't worry. I got you. I'm going to call you back. You text me. If I don't text you in 2 days, I got you. I'm going to text you back because I'm somebody's answer, right? And they need us, right? Yes. And so we can't let them down. And they come to you and say, I'm busy. Then they'll never come to you again. Right. That's good. And so I'm just so thankful for the opportunity that God has given me and this time and right now. And, another thing that I really am trying to help people with is just, the thoughts the things that we think about ourselves. Because what we think about ourselves is what we're going to become. And we should no longer, don't tolerate thoughts that don't give you any results. Complacency is a silent dream killer. And we don't want to tolerate anything that's not going to give us any results. Even the Bible says in Proverbs 23:7 that as a man thinketh, so is he. And so help our listeners today to help them to shift their thoughts in their mind. What are some things they can do to shift their thoughts in their minds on today?
I'm going to let you take that one.
I am an affirmation junkie. And I say that to say because it totally changed my life. It's not something I grew up with. It's not something I did like when I was a child. It's something I started in 2009. I still say my affirmations today. One thing I do realize is, like, as a man thinketh, so is he. And too often, negative thoughts control our life. And that's what raises up, and that's what comes out of our mouth. And we don't even realize that we can direct the paths and our steps based on what's coming out of our mouth. The Word of God says that whatever you say, and this is a part of it, when the second part of that verse says, and you shall eat that fruit. And so if you're going to eat the fruit, then I'm going to eat the good fruit. And so I say affirmations, but they're not a lot. It's probably 6 or 7 of them, but I've been doing it for so long. As soon as I start, and the very first one I say every day is I'm a winner. So as soon as I start, the rest of them just come because I've just been doing it for so long. But that's the way that you shift your mindset. The key, though, is you got to keep doing it.
You got to keep doing it.
The challenge is that when people don't see immediate change, they stop. But this doesn't work. Like, really, you talk to yourself all day anyway. So does it really matter if you're saying good things or bad things? Oh, yeah. So just stop saying the bad things and replace them with the good things. And when those negative thoughts raise up, your unconscious mind will squash down those with positive. When you have so many positive thoughts in you, those negative thoughts raise up, those positive thoughts will push the other ones down. But you have to condition yourself to do it every day, and it should not be long. It should be small, short statements, 3 or 4 words. But you need to speak your life over your life so that you can begin to see a shift and a change. And if you I tell everybody, I swear my hand, if you keep saying it, your life will change. You will wake up because you're also putting it in that atmosphere. And God said that if you tell me, He said, ask, seek, and knock. So if you're going to put it out there, the Word said that it doesn't return void. So He has to respond to it. So, but guess what? If you're going to put negative stuff out there, He has to respond to that too. So you get to choose, though, which is, so affirmations is key for me. Every day, all day. Sitting right now in my head.
I love it. And I'm going to piggyback off of that because I can truly relate to you on that. Yours says that I'm a winner. Mine says all I do is win. So I have my laminated little card on the top of my dresser, and I read it every day too. And it's something that I live by too. But I also know, and it always sticks out to me as well, the battlefield is within our mind. It really is. And so I always say, what do you say when you talk to yourself? And so that's important to be able to speak those things when you're talking to yourself when there's no one else around. Because the devil would try to put those things in. I have to say, oh, no, you're a liar. That's not what God says about me. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. No, that's not true. I know the plans you have for me. I know that. I know everything you have for me. So I'm constantly, just as you stated, counteracting that. But also, I'm really very, very mindful of my circle. I always say I have inner circle queens, and they are like guards. Okay, you're not coming into my fence. You're just not coming into where I am. I'm very mindful who I keep, the company that I keep. And I think a lot of times, we grow up with people, and we're like, oh, that's my girl, that's my boy. We grew up together. But doesn't mean that that person still needs to be in your circle. They may not need to still be in your circle of influence. And a lot of times we grew up, your parents would say, whoever you hang around, that's who you become. I'm very mindful how I hang around. So the people that I hang around, they are powerful. So therefore I'm powerful. We speak and we encourage each other. When one is down, the other one's lifting you up. You don't have to worry about that this negativity is coming out, that this person is trying to harm you. So I'm truly blessed and just honored that the people that God constantly put around me, even with you all, just constantly in my circle. And that really helps me because, of course, you don't have time for that negativity. If you're around positive all the time, you don't have time for negativity because that person's right there. What are you doing? What are you saying? So to me, surrounding yourself with those people that are going to build you up. They're constantly building you up so they can't tear you down. And you constantly having those words of affirmation and again being in that word, because you know the word is always positive.
Yes.
That word is going to renew your mind.
Yes.
So I'm constantly renewing my mind because I'm reading his word and I'm remembering what he has told me. So that's the way that I always am watching my thoughts.
Exactly. And it's funny that you quoted Jeremiah 29 because I quote that every day, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper and not to harm you, plans to bring you hope in a future. And I read it in the Message Bible, and when I read it in the Message, I believe it was last week when I was reading it, it got to a point where it actually said, when you get serious about me, then I will come. You can count on it. Wow. And so with you saying that, you know, it's when you get serious about the things that God has called you to do, when you get serious about the purpose that's in your life, when you get serious, you can count on God to come to you and quickly come, because he wants to bless you. He wants to bless you. And I'm just so excited because every day we should be working on being the best us. Yes. Believe in yourself. If nobody else do, believe in yourself. Be the best version of you. And so I'm excited. Do you see why I have these lovely ladies on here today? Yes, I'm excited about that. Listen, we're going to go take a break. We have one more guest that's going to join us, and we're going to bring this on home. Thank you very much. Stay right there. Remember, 240-719-2560.
I wanted to ask.
And we are back, turning dreams into reality. We are so glad that you are still here with us. Our show is on second Saturdays every month from 3 to 4. And again, today I have some wonderful guests with me. And let me tell you, this next lady, we have to go another hour, but we don't have another hour. We only have a few more minutes. But I have no other than the Lisa M. Jones with us today.
Yeah. Where's she at?
She is right here. She's in his house. That's what she posted.
I like how I look on that screen right there. You gotta stop looking at yourself.
It's weird, right? You like this. Look straight ahead.
Yes, straight ahead, Lisa, right there. Lisa M. Jones, she is the owner of Jones, Jewels and Associates, the visionary founder of the Stream Makeover Conference. Lisa, tell our listeners about Lisa M. Jones.
Wow. Well, Lisa M. Jones is, man, she's just a child of God, a servant leader, and just honored. I'm so blessed. You know what I mean? When you tap into your identity.
Yes.
And you know who you are, like you're not looking for validation, confirmation. You're not looking to be affirmed by anyone else because God is giving you all of that.
Amen.
That's such a powerful place to be. And all I can keep saying, Dr. Tasheka, is I am honored.
Yes.
I'm honored. So she's just around the way girl.
Well, we are glad that you are here, Lisa. And before you came on, Andrea and Shantee was just talking about how they had their dreams become reality. And that's your mission. I always hear you say, I can turn your visions into reality.
Amen.
Tell us a little bit how some of your visions became a reality. And, like people always say, what's your story? What you have to tell us?
Well, it's amazing. I just come from telling my story. I had to speak for a church. And so, one of the things is that going through my experience with cancer really helped me to understand who I am. And my creator is during that moment when the doctor said your body is full of cancer. During that moment when I actually planned my funeral, I actually put everything in place so that my parents and my daughter wouldn't have to go through that, is when he revealed himself to me on a whole nother level. And for the rest of my days, I want to spend those days serving and bringing communities and unifying people. And I am such a blessed girl because my inner circle is so powerful. My inner circle wouldn't allow me to die. And so they kept reminding me of the mission God has on my life. And then I partnered up with the most amazing women and men in the world. And so I have these folks, and it's amazing when he said, go out there and bring the people together in something called the Extreme Makeover, because it's in my moments of being sick that book came about, the Extreme Makeover, the 5 areas of prosperity. And take to the world, tell the people how to prosper in all 5 areas. They go to work to prosper in one area. They go to church to prosper in one area. But nobody is bringing all 5 together. And Lisa, minister to the whole family, and then identify your circuit of speakers that have the same heart's desire to reach the people. And now I have that. These ladies sitting here, you can't tell me they're not my sisters. You cannot tell me that. You can't tell me they're not my BFFs. Like, I feel so much, I feel stronger because they're with me. Like, by myself, I'm not that strong, but with them and with God, I am a powerful vessel. And so my story is servant leader. I want people to say when God called me home that she had a heart for the community, a heart for the people. She looked down on no man except to pick them up. She just wanted to give back to society, because anybody can hold a title.
Yes.
But very few people hold a position in society. We're title driven. I'm a bishop, I'm a pastor, I'm a minister, I'm an evangelist, and rightfully so, but very few people live up to the position in people's lives, because if you understood your position in my life, you wouldn't hurt me. You understand? But if you just go off the title, then you may do anything if you're just title driven. And so Lisa's just a girl that want to make a difference.
Exactly. And when you make a difference, you don't need a title, because when you show up, people already know who you are.
Don't need one.
You don't need one. I say that all the time. When you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do when you hit that floor is say, thank you, Jesus. Now you say, what God you have for me today, and when you show up, things should change.
Absolutely.
Things should change. And so I'm excited, Lisa, and I personally want to just say how much I love you, and I thank you for just, believing in me and believing in the vision and seeing something in me and just saying, it's time. What did she say most recently? You were called to be out there, right?
We're called to be out there.
Called to be out there. It's the next book, right?
Yeah.
That's coming. So
they will be co-authors in the book. That's right.
So I'm excited about that, Lisa. And one thing you talked about was, having cancer and how that process actually birthed a lot of different things. And so, we talked about helping our listeners to have their dreams become a reality, about, failure, failure on the side of failure and success. We talked about affirmations and believing in themselves. And, I want to talk about what your circumstances look like, because, a lot of people look at their circumstances and they said, I can't, or what if? And I want people to start thinking about what's next and looking at it from a different point, to not let their circumstances dictate what they're supposed to be doing right now. Can you talk a little bit about that, how we need to focus on the solution and not our circumstances?
Absolutely. You have to keep your eyes on the prize, not the price. And sometimes the price is so heavy, and sometimes the price is painful. And so it's amazing, in the beginning of the year, I always do a fast. And I always, take time to say, God, what for this year? I know what you wanted for last year. Last year is over. The past is gone. What for this year? What should I include? What should I take away? Because you repeat what you don't repair. And so what should I take away? What should I add? And so I remember him speaking to my spirit that this is going to be an awesome year. You're going to go to another level this year. And then my mentor said, Lisa, stop traveling and speaking. Take time to stay home for a while and have people come in and speak for you. And I said, awesome. So I was going on with my plans, but I never knew that the next level would come in the form of cancer. See, thank God we get sick, because if we didn't get sick, we would go from living to dying. See, sick means something needs to change, something needs to be healed, something needs to be straightened out. You understand? We get spent so much time talking about this administration and what's going on in politics. But guess what? Sick means it's showing us that what our healing needs to take place in our society, in our community. So with all of the issues, it's showing us we got some stuff we need to straighten out. Make sense? So the next level came in the form of cancer. And what helped me get through that, what helped me focus on the prize and not the price, was that I realized I first decided that I wanted to live. At first, I prepared to die. But after my strong circle would not allow me to die, I decided to live. Isn't that amazing? People think it's so huge, like they're looking for me to say something really deep. I made a decision. And as a result of not making a decision is made for you. And so I made a decision for me, because the enemy was trying to make one for me. I decided to make a different one. And so I decided to live. And I spent the rest of my days talking about living instead of complaining about the pain. And I was in a lot of pain. Instead of complaining about the cancer. And it was real. But I decided that I'm going to live. And then I decided I wanted to help people. I wanted to, they say Job was healed when he prayed for his neighbor. And so I started praying for other people. In pain, I'm moaning. I'm in the bed. I lost my sight. I couldn't walk. I'm in the bed praying for other people. Lord, heal them. They sick. Isn't that something? And so I said, let me do Job. I was having my Job experience. Let me be Job. And so my next came about as a result of making a decision to live.
Making a decision to live. You hear that? And in my book here, I talk about that if you're still here, your purpose in you, it's time for you to live. To live. And even when you were just talking, Lisa, you said you lost your vision. But you didn't lose your vision.
I lost my sight, not my vision.
You lost your sight and not your vision. Exactly. You still had the vision in you of what you already had saw you to become. And so I'm so thankful for that and everything. And, with that being said, I know we're running low on time and everything. And I want to talk about the Extreme Makeover Conference. Tell us all about the Extreme Makeover Conference, when it is, where it's going to be, what the people should expect, and just tell us about it.
Do you see the smile on our face? Like, how can, four people have the same joy about something? It's amazing when God is in the middle of something, how it just rolls perfectly out. It plays out perfect. And so these guys and we come together for something called Extreme Makeover, which is a conference that God just gave me permission to start. I wrote the book, The Extreme Makeover, the 5 areas of prosperity. Say, show people how to prosper in their spiritual. Show them how to prosper in their mental. Show them how to prosper in their physical, in their relationships, and in their financial. Put together a conference where the whole family can come from age 12 and up and minister to the whole family. They walk in broken, they leave whole. Because we have so many issues going on. We have a half a man and a half a woman trying to have a whole marriage. It can't happen like that. We need to become whole as men and as women and as youth. And so minister to the whole family. So this conference is a conference where we have workshops and you have these awesome folks, and so we have other speakers that couldn't be here today, where we come together and we dedicate our time to put ourselves in position to teach you what we know and what we've learned. We bring the best of the best before you. And so we have the marriage workshop. We have the singles workshop. You have to know how to be single. You understand? You also have to know how to be married. Okay, amen, Jesus. And so we have the youth room, teaching them how to deal with what's going on, because they never had the conversation in their houses. So you got to talk about certain things that's not being talked about so that they won't be surprised when they face certain situations. And so we have the women's workshop, which, the women workshop is just off the chain. So, and then we have the men's workshop, right? Our last one is, I am wise, I am worthy, I am woman. Amen. Powerful vessel. Powerful vessel. You understand why the enemy come up against women? They the doors to life. No man can walk on this earth except he come through a woman. And so the enemy spends so much time trying to make us at odds. How can we just love each other the way we do? I sincerely love these sisters, and I don't want to tear them down. I want to tell them they're beautiful and they awesome, and I want to edify them. And so we come together for this conference, and it is amazing. And we love our brothers. So we have the men. Men, it's time to huddle up. The men go in their huddle, and they don't want to come out and join us after they go in their huddle. They be like, we want to stay in our workshop. We don't want to join the rest of y'all. But it's amazing. You must be at the next one on October the 20th in Hanover, Maryland, right near Arundel Mills. You know, you go to Maryland Live, and so it's right up the street. You want to be at the next one. You know you go to Maryland. I saw you there. So, it's right up the street, a beautiful hotel. The hotel is Arundel Preserve. You need to be there.
Yes, and so it's October 20th.
October 20th.
All day for the entire family.
Yes, 9 to 4. And we feed you all day. Like, we have so much food because we know you hungry. And so we're going to have some food there for you, but we're going to feed your soul and we're going to feed your belly, okay? And so you're going to get an awesome treat.
So I'm just going to tell you from experience last year, don't come in your heels. Don't come in your skirts. Don't come looking, your best, you're cute. Throw on some jeans and a T-shirt because we're going to have fun. And we actually start the day with Say.
Tell us
about Say.
Oh my God.
Tell us about Say.
Zumba party. Say Zumba party. Some authentic exercise, right? With our sister that's a part of EMO leaders, Patricia Richmond. Man, we're going to do some Zumba, and she brings the party. And so we so appreciate Say. They're such an awesome organization, and Patricia is powerful and helping us to prosper in our physical.
Yes, and Patricia is not with us. She's another Extreme Makeover leader and keynote speaker. She's actually at another event today, and she's going to be on NBC4. So we're going to look for her on NBC4, and just name a few of the other leaders that will be there as well, and the speakers.
Also we have the awesome Sherman Nelson, who is lead the men workshop, and he's just a powerful brother out of DC. We have the great Rashad Bowtie Mills, who's just these guys' stories are amazing. You understand? And so who I'm leaving out, guys? Is everybody? I think that's
Rosalind.
Okay. Ross. Oh yes, we have Roslyn Law, who is really helping us also with our physical. She is teaching us how to eat healthy. She's a health coach, and so she's a part of our team as well. And this team of people, we reach out, and man, we have some wisdom. God has given us some wisdom in our particular areas. I mean, we have, with Shantee McPhee, her husband Mark McPhee, they talk about the marriage part of the workshop, and they're so good with leading that workshop on how to be married. You understand? And so you want to hear that. This is, you have to, just like you have to feed the marriage, just like your car need an oil change. You understand? You have to come and get your oil change, and that's what it's that maintenance, right? And so married couples should go to events together. Right? We can't always ride in separate cars and go to separate events. Okay? I'm already God tell my husband we're going in the same car. Okay, so we ain't gonna meet each other there. We're gonna ride together today because I'm tired of driving. Okay, so but you want to bring your spouse there and sit and be fed.
Yes, but we're excited. I know you're gonna go and you're gonna register right now at jonesjewels.com, and you're gonna register for the conference, and it's an all-day event, and we will be glad that you will join us. Well, ladies, I'm checking my clock, and we're coming down to the wire. We have 4 minutes left, and
we need more time.
We need more time, and we're excited. We're only on second Saturdays now, but you know what? Anything is possible with God, and we could be on every week. So we'll just see what happens every week.
We need an
Listen,
EMO show.
She turns visions into reality.
Amen.
You're already talking over here.
That's right. We're gonna have an EMO show.
Exactly.
Talk show. That's the next level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So. Iron sharpens iron.
Amen.
Turning dreams to reality, you have to surround yourself around people that are going to push you, that's going to invest in you, that's going to believe in you, that's going to pray for you, and that's going to speak those things, and they become. And so I'm just excited that we had this time together. And if we could just sum it up, just take the next minute or so and just sum it up and leave our listeners today with one thing that they should do, leaving off of this show today, to start turning their dreams into reality. One thing they should do.
One thing they should do.
And anybody can start.
Okay, one thing they should do is get an accountability partner.
Yes.
Oh, accountability.
Yes, everybody needs accountability partner.
And one thing I feel they should do, Dr. Green, is execute.
Yes.
You have to stop thinking about it and go do something about it. It's time to execute. This is the year of execution.
Yes, execute. So get an accountability partner. Execute. We said no more excuses.
No more excuses. No victims.
Yes. And coming off of the excuses, instead of saying all the reasons why you can't do something, because I'm sure you got visions inside of you, just say these 2 words to yourself. What if? What if it worked? What if whatever you want to do? What if money wasn't an option? What if? And walk forward in that if, and then step out on faith.
Yes.
That's
well, listen, thank you for joining me.
What's your word?
What's mine? Mine is to leave today and write out the one goal this week that you want to accomplish as it relates to your dreams.
Amen.
Just one goal. And then next week, write another goal. And then the third week, another goal. By the time you get to the end of the month, you have accomplished so many things. And don't let anything distract you from staying focused on that one goal that you want to accomplish this week.
I have a goal to get those glasses.
Yes. Selena Taker,
Accelerator like that. I want to be pretty like that. I have a goal to wear that color lipstick.
Well, listen, as we come to our conclusion, one thing I want to say is that God is a promise keeper and a dream fulfiller.
Yes, He is.
The dreams that God gave you will become a reality.
Amen.
Make up in your mind today that you want your dreams to become a reality. These ladies have helped us on today. I know you have some helpful tools and resources you can use. If you want to find me, I am on social media, Tasheka Green. My web address is www.2eseasons.com, and the phone number is 1-866-475-3178. I am so sorry that you will not see us again until the second Saturday in April, but tune in on foxwave.com for turning in dreams into reality. Thank you. God bless, and I love you all.
Yeah.
Many times in our lives, we sit and wonder why God has us where He does. A living sacrifice to be an example to the world, so that everyone can see His goodness and His mercy, how His grace covers me. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta grow where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Many are the plans of man, but only God's plan will prevail. Don't be weary in well-doing. All you have to do is keep going. Have faith and believe, and know one day you'll receive all the blessings that's for you. He is going to see you through. You gotta go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta grow where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is He that's in me than he that's in the world. I am an overcomer. I'm more than a conqueror. Gotta go where God leads. Where God leads. Gotta shine so people can see. They can see. Gotta go where you are. Where you are. Know that God will keep. He will keep. Gotta go where God leads. Where He leads. You gotta shine so people can see. They can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta go where God leads. Where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. They can see. You gotta grow where you are. Where you are. And know that God will keep. He will keep you. Go where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are. Where you are. And know that God will keep you. You gotta grow where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta grow where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta grow where you are and know that God will keep you. You gotta grow where God leads. You gotta shine so people can see. You gotta